Today I'm going to be working on a 2021 Hyundai Veloster N.
The truth.
Today we're going to be installing a new front intercooler. Here's the intercooler. It's actually quite nice. It's really thick too. But that's what we'll be putting on here in just a minute. Now this kit does come with new hoses, some hardware, and a new pipe as well. This is the part number for the kit. I'll include it in the description down below. First thing you'll want to do is go ahead and pop your hood. Next, we're going to go ahead and jack up the car. Once you get it up off the ground, we're going to go ahead and take off these 4 bolts right here on the top side of the bumper. Next, inside the wheel well, we're going to take out this bolt right here. And there's going to be 3 of these little body panel clips. There's one here at the top. And then there are 2 down here at the bottom. One here and one almost at the ground. And you're going to be doing this on both sides. Next, you'll be taking out 4 more bolts up underneath these teardrop looking areas here. And there's also a series of body panel clips under here as well. You can take all those out. In the way back of this skid plate, there's 3 more bolts. There's going to be 2 on the passenger side, right there and right there. And there's 1 on the driver's side. It's kind of hard to see from this angle, but it's way over there. Now we can go ahead and drop out the skid plate and pull it out from underneath the car. Now we're going to go ahead and take our engine cover off. It just pops right out. Now we'll be taking off this intake pipe right here. So go ahead and take off the band clamp up here and the one down here. We're going to take off this pipe as well. Just be cautious of these little lines. We're going to go ahead and remove these ones just to get them out of the way. Next, on both sides, you're going to slowly pop out the fender. And just be nice and easy. Try not to scratch anything up as you go. There it goes.
There we go.
Next, we're going to go ahead and take out the 10 millimeters holding this guard in. There's one on this side as well. And there's a little zip tie clip right here. I'm just going to be cutting that because this sensor holds on to the crash bar up here, so that won't be in the way, but this zip tie will be. So we're just going to get rid of that altogether. Now we can go ahead and remove this altogether. So go ahead and take these little caps off of the band clamps. You just grab them with a pair of pliers and pull straight off. And then it's an 8 millimeter. But you're gonna wanna go ahead and take off these ones underneath the passenger side of the car. This one as well. And there should be one right here next to the intercooler as well. And there'll be a few more on the top side. I'll show you here in just a second. Here's the ones on the top side. These are a little bit harder to get to, but it's pretty much the same principle. This one drops down to where our aftermarket blow-off valve is at, down there. And then, when you go up underneath the car, on the back side of the intercooler, you're also gonna have this one and the one just upstream here. Go ahead and take all of those off. Next, we're gonna be taking out these bolts right here. There's gonna be 4 of them, 2 on each side. And they are 10 millimeters. Now before we pull this all the way out, just make sure you broke the seal on the hoses here. That way it separates from the hoses when we go ahead and pull it out, and do that on both sides. And here's our old one out of the car. Here's our quick side-by-side with the old one and the new one. You can definitely tell the new one's a whole lot thicker. There's also a mounting bolt right here you want to remove. That way this pipe comes down. We're going to go ahead and take it out all the way up to that elbow right there. Also, we're going to be removing this whole one right here. Just be careful to take off, if it'll focus, take off your vacuum lines for the blow-off valve and unclip this sensor as well. Now that the top side pipe is out, you can see had the plug here, the vacuum line here, but it also had a 10 millimeter bolt right here holding on a little bracket along with this vacuum line. So you have to remove those as well. But we took it all out through the bottom side of the car. All right, now we have the bottom side intercooler piping out as well. I just kind of laid it out the way we took it out, and now we're going to start matching up these hoses to the new ones. So we laid everything out the way it should fit up underneath the car. This is the passenger side. It's got a weird little 35-degree bend here. Our carbon fiber pipe, it's got a slight bend on this end, and then it goes straight, and then it goes into our 90, and that's gonna match up to the underside of the car. This side, we got this weird bend hose right here. It's gonna go on the end of the intercooler. This one gets taken off. We're gonna reuse this hard pipe here, and we're gonna reuse this rubber hose right here. Now before you attach these two pieces, we're gonna hit it with a little bit of lubrication, just so it slides on there better. So according to the diagram, the only smaller clamp goes right here. That's number 7. The rest of them use clamp number 9 all the way around. Go ahead and tighten this back up to the intake manifold. Now that we have this one and this one tight, go ahead and reconnect all of our parts down here for the blow-off valve. And don't forget that the 10mm bolt's in right down there as well, and that vent tube is down there also. Now down here on the bottom side, you're gonna have your label facing outwards towards the, pretty much towards the tire on this side of the car. We had it in the other way, and the length of this part was not long enough to reach down here where the intercooler is gonna go. So we flipped it around. So the 6th word will be pointing upwards and facing out towards the tire. Don't tighten up your clamp yet till you get your intercooler in to make sure we have enough room to move this around if need be. Once you've cleaned and lubricated up this pipe, we're gonna go ahead and take our new silicone hose and attach it. But be sure to put your clamp on before you do that. After you get this elbow on, you're gonna install the straight pipe. It's got this small little bend right here. And then we got the other 35-degree bend. I put the 6th mark down on this one and left all the clamps loose until we get the intercooler in all the way. Before we install the intercooler, we're gonna bend this little bracket up. I just took a pair of pliers and grabbed onto it and bent it up a little bit because it does get in the way of the top part of the intercooler. We're trying to get it in and bent a couple of the fins. So just so you don't run into the same problem, get that bent up out of the way as much as you can. Now, go ahead and gently bring this up into place. Kind of align it within the holes here. And that's why we left everything loose so we can move things around and get it to where it needs to be. Once you have the intercooler in place, we're gonna go ahead and bend this guy back down now that it's out of the way. But we're gonna go ahead and send all these 10mm in to secure it up to the mounting points. And then on the back side, just make sure you get all your hoses to fit over the hard lines for the intercooler as well. Now be sure to go back and tighten up all your clamps and get them in a place where they're not gonna rub against anything on the ground or on this under tray. You're gonna wanna tighten them all. And that goes for the ones on this edge of the intercooler as well. Once you got all the piping underneath good and tight, we can go ahead and put our bumper back on the car. Now we're gonna put our 1 bolt back up in here and the 3 clips that go right down the side. Also, don't forget to put the 4 bolts in the very top of the bumper as well. All right, now we're gonna reinstall the under tray. Make sure you get all the screws, and the 3 in the back, the 4 up front, and all the plastic pins that go all the way around. Once the under tray is on all the way, go ahead and safely lower your car back down to the ground. And don't forget to put the engine cover back on the engine. Finally, don't forget to get a tune after doing this project to make sure the car runs smoothly. Well, I hope this video helps. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down in the comment section below and I'll try and answer them as soon as I can. If you liked any of the background music that was in this video, check out the artist's SoundCloud in the description below.